These are the 5 questions you're not asking yourself about your college degree. First, how hard is it going to be for you to get a job once you graduate from college? The major reason that most people go to college is because they want a good, full-time, high-paying job once they graduate. The truth is, there are only a few degrees that are in high demand right now in the job marketplace, and those are called the STEM degrees. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. If you're getting a degree in one of these areas, you can be confident that your degree will turn into a high-paying job once you graduate from college. If you're planning on getting a degree in any other field, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Traditional liberal arts degrees in history, psychology, sociology, art, communications, and media studies are almost worthless in today's economy. However, millions of students every year graduate with these worthless degrees because they continue to believe in the cultural myth that all you need to do to succeed in life is get a college degree. And it's easy to believe in this myth because the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that only 5 to 10% of recent college graduates are unemployed. However, this statistic is misleading because it only shows the number of college graduates that are qualifying for unemployment benefits. If you woke up tomorrow morning as a college graduate, you learned that for every 1 job opening, there are 8 unemployed Americans. Once you found out that there were no job opportunities that fit your degree, you might apply for work as a cook, a shelf stocker, or a barista. You would then discover a form of reverse discrimination, where employers looking to fill low-skill positions prefer to hire employees without college degrees, because they're less likely to quit unexpectedly to take a higher paying job. The reality is that a college degree is not what it once was. The majority of college graduates, 54%, are either unemployed, working part-time, or working in a job that doesn't even require a college education. And that's not all. You have to ask yourself, is your degree worth the debt? Many students today are graduating with huge mountains of debt. The average 22-year-old graduates with $27,000 worth of debt. Without a full-time, high-paying job, it's impossible to pay off your debt and live independently. This is why so many young people are moving back into their childhood bedrooms after graduation. A recent survey shows that 85% of college graduates are moving back home to live with their parents after they graduate from college. All this begs the question, is a college degree still worth it today? Students today spend an average of 300 hours of time in class per year, and another 600 out of class, reading textbooks, doing online problem sets, writing papers, and studying for tests. They do an average of 42 pages of work per class per semester, which adds up to over 400 pages per year. In most colleges, you're required to take a large number of classes during your first 2 years that have nothing to do with your major. In the name of a well-rounded education, students are required to spend an average of $10,000 to take classes that they hate, the material of which they will probably never have to use for the rest of their lives. Many of these classes involve learning information that has little or no relevance to the real world or to their future career. Colleges continue to rely on outdated models of learning that result in very little long-term knowledge. Learning researchers have studied the various methods of learning and found that after 2 weeks, you only retain 5% of what you hear in lecture and 10% of what you read in a textbook. It has to do with the biological fact that you cannot convert information from short-term to long-term memory unless you repeatedly remind yourself at certain biologically determined intervals. Think about it. How much do you remember of what you learned in high school? If you had to retake any test in high school, you would probably fail miserably because you don't remember most of what you learned. The end result of this model is that after 4 years of intense study and work, you graduate with a diploma and a transcript, but you will have forgotten the vast majority of what you learned along the way. The truth is, most people are still unaware of how inefficient our current learning system is. But the bigger problem today is how colleges are run, which leads us to the final question. Does your college really care about you and your future success? Most people don't realize that colleges originated in the United States as deeply religious organizations that were just as dedicated to religious observance as academic rigor. Colleges in the past were designed for the intellectual development of the sons of the upper class, as well as a few of the most gifted from the middle class. Colleges have evolved very slowly over the years, and these modern-day dinosaurs can still be identified by the disconnect between the education they provide and the education that is needed in the workplace. While colleges pay lip service to the educational needs of their students, behind closed doors and on their budget sheets, it is evident that they have other motives. Everyone who has ever applied to college has seen it. The U.S. News and World Report college rankings. On the surface, these rankings seem harmless, but there is a vast underworld that most people are totally unaware of. Colleges jockey for position in the rankings by changing themselves to better fit into the model that the rankers use to order them. These factors include the amount of money spent per student, faculty-student ratios, and the average SAT scores of the freshman class. But where are all the measures of the learning outcomes or the job preparation skills that colleges are supposed to provide? The answer is that they don't matter. That's right, the actual learning results that colleges produce have no effect on their rankings. Whether they prepare you for a future job in your chosen field or not has no effect on their rankings. To compete in the rankings, colleges have to focus on what matters to the rankers. That means that they prioritize things that have nothing to do with your education. The biggest three growth areas in college budgets last year were marketing, enrollment management, and alumni management. What do those mean for college rankings? Increased marketing results in more applicants, making schools seem like they are more selective simply because they now have more people applying for the same number of spots in the incoming freshman class. And what about enrollment management? Additional enrollment staff are needed to handle the higher number of applicants that result from the increased spending on marketing. And alumni management? Those are the people who call alumni to ask for donations. What you see here is a vicious cycle where colleges compete for rankings based on irrelevant criteria and then spend huge sums of money on things that have nothing to do with education. And you, as the student, are subsidizing all this with your tuition dollars. If you're wondering if there is a better way, there is. Dropout Go Big is a website dedicated to helping you succeed without a college degree, regardless of whether you want to become an entrepreneur, freelancer, or you just want to get a good job without a degree. Visit now and sign up for the 14-day video program to get started.